Yo, this is a motherfucker who needs no introduction. You are watching Breaking Records Radio.
All right. Yeah, and the other thing that's interesting is you mentioned going out to California and just having the intent of getting signed to Ruthless, and you guys wanted to end up getting signed to Ruthless. That's really interesting to me because the story that gets told about over and over again is kind of NWA ends up splitting up, and then Easy and Jerry end up kind of having this Ruthless body, and they end up signing you guys as a solo act, and you guys are one of the first people, or as a group act, but one of the first people to really get signed to that roster and that kind of new roster. It's interesting that you guys were even aware that Easy and Jerry and Ruthless Records in general were kind of still existing and looking for new talent. How were you guys even aware that Ruthless was looking for people and after the NWA split? Because I would have figured once NWA split, that kind of would have been it for people until they started hearing that they were signing acts like yourself.
I mean, you know, we were such fans. You know, we followed them very closely. You know, I used to try to stay as updated as possible. I used to we had college radio in Cleveland back then, and they would play stuff that the regular radio didn't play, like new music from all over. So. And, you know, I would buy rap magazines, you know, the Black Beat, the Yo, the Word Up magazines, and all those magazines back in the day to keep up on the information of all my favorite artists. So we knew once Easy, you know, NWA broke up, we saw that Easy was still doing this thing, and we knew he was probably looking for other artists because, you know, he had just signed BG Knockout and Drayster. So I was like, you know, Ruthless is still doing their thing. So we like, man, let's still try to get on with them, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, one of the most, I guess, interesting parts of your career has been the whole, like, Mo Thugs family, and watching that roster expand. I'm not sure what other kind of larger collectives were around at that period of time. I know Dungeon Family came a little bit later, but all I can really kind of identify or think of is what Wu-Tang was doing and what kind of Wu-Tang had with Gravediggaz and a couple of the other guys. But either way, you guys were really early on kind of that collective family type expansion of a rap group, right? So from Bone Thugs to Mo Thugs family. What was your kind of thought process in putting that together? Because that ended up being kind of a really important part, I think, of hip hop history.
Yeah, well, you know, that though everything we did then was like we had all that stuff already planned. You know, like we had our future pretty much planned to a point. We knew, you know, because most of the people that we signed, we knew them way before we got signed, and you know, we were always like a crew, and we all made a vow to, like, you know, whichever one of us make it and get on first, we're gonna come back and get everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. You know, like, so we had the name Mo Thug way before we even met Easy. You know what I'm saying? We knew that's what we wanted to call our record label, Mo Thugs Records, because it was like more thugs coming after us. You know what I'm saying? So like we already had that. We already knew that we were going to do group albums. We already knew we was going to do solo albums at some point. We had all this stuff planned. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing shocking about us doing solo projects or nothing like that to us, because, you know, it was just our plan. Our plan was just playing out. So we knew what we wanted to do, you know, and the artists, you know, they was ready when we came back to get them. They was ready.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, you guys were so innovative and experimental at that period of time, not only in terms of your style and delivery and how you guys ended up crafting a lot of your songs, which was definitely new for what hip-hop was at, or where it was at that period of time. But yeah, even in terms of that larger kind of collective, like I said, like what Wu-Tang and kind of the Wu-Tang Killer Bees and all that kind of came a little bit later, and then the Dungeon Family stuff, and you have Odd Future and everything now. Like, that's a pretty important part of what hip-hop is, and those kind of larger collectives make up a large body of hip-hop culture. But you guys were really kind of early pioneers in that. especially if you guys already had that before even signing to Ruthless, that idea that you guys were going to end up embarking on that.
Yeah, man, definitely. We like I said, we followed Easy and NWA very closely, and we saw what he was doing with NWA and Above the Law and CPO and DOC and all these people that he was releasing. So and also not only the West Coast, but we give a lot of credit to the East Coast because that's what birthed my love for hip hop was the East Coast. And then so we looked at everything Russell Simmons was doing with Def Jam, and he had LL Cool J, he had all those artists over there up under that umbrella. So we figured out the model just by watching these dudes and studying what they were doing, just watching very carefully. And we was like, we want to have our own label, but we go put out all our people as well. So we knew the formula. We just needed the muscle.
Yeah, man, what incredible history overall. Not only just as Bone Thugs and Harmony, but as yourself, as a solo artist. The amount of material that you've put out is incredible, and the quality of the material is equally as incredible. So shout outs to your history, man. 100%.
Thank you, man.